Dear human, I don't remember the day we met. I know that's supposed to be important, but I don't think dogs keep memories the same way humans do. I remember pieces. I remember your shoes. I remember being small enough to fit in your lap, and then one day not fitting anymore, even though I kept trying. I remember the smell of your car. I remember that one corner of the couch you pretended was yours. I remember your laugh. Not the laugh you used around other people, the real one, the one that always made me run into the room to see what I was missing. I remember waiting for you, not because I was sad when you left, because I liked the part where you came back. Every day around the same time, I would wander over to the door, then the window, then the door again. Eventually, I'd hear it. Your car. It had a funny sound to it, a tiny rattle. I could hear it before anyone else, and every single time, I thought the same thing. There you are. You always seemed surprised by how excited I was, as if there was somewhere else I would rather be. There wasn't. I liked being wherever you were, even when you were doing boring things, especially when you were doing boring things. I watched you make coffee thousands of times. I never understood why it took so long. I watched you stare at glowing screens. I watched you fold laundry. I watched you water plants. I watched you walk from one room to another carrying something and then completely forget why you went there. You did that a lot. I never minded. I liked watching your life happen. There was a day you stood at the kitchen sink for a very long time. The tap wasn't running. You weren't washing anything. You just stood there looking out the window. The house felt different, quieter somehow. I brought you my tennis ball. You laughed a little. Then you cried anyway. I didn't know why. I only knew you shouldn't have to sit on a cold kitchen floor by yourself. So I sat there too. You apologized to me a lot. For being late. For working too much. For missing walks. For being tired. For checking your phone. For not throwing the ball enough. For things I never cared about. You always seemed surprised that I was happy just because you came home. But that was the truth. I wasn't keeping score. I wasn't counting walks or treats or mistakes. I just liked you, more than anyone, more than anything. I know humans make a big deal about adventures. The beach, the holidays, the road trips, the photographs. Those were nice. But my favorite day was probably one neither of us remembers. A completely ordinary Tuesday. You made coffee. I fell asleep in a patch of sunlight. We went for a walk. Nothing happened. It was perfect. When I got older, you became strange. You started watching me, really watching me. You looked at me the way people look at sunsets. Like you knew something was changing. You'd wait at the bottom of the stairs. You'd help me into the car. You'd pretend not to notice when I needed more breaks. I noticed. I noticed everything, even the things you tried to hide, especially those. Then there was that day. The one you've replayed 1,000 times since. I wish you wouldn't. It wasn't the most important day, not even close. The most important days were all the ones before it. The muddy ones, the sleepy ones, the ordinary ones, the days when we didn't know we were making memories. That last day was strange. Everyone spoke softly. You kept touching my head. The room smelled unfamiliar, and your hand never left me. That's what I remember most. Your hand. Not fear, not sadness, just your hand and your voice, and knowing you were there. After that, things become harder to explain. I don't know where I am now. I only know that every now and then, I still find you. In little moments, when you see a dog that walks like me, when you find one of my old toys behind a piece of furniture, when you hear a collar jingle and turn around before you remember, when your hand reaches toward the spot beside you on the couch, I find you there. You keep saying you miss me, and I understand. I miss you too, but I need you to know something. You were never responsible for giving me a perfect life. You gave me your life. That was better. You let me be part of your ordinary days. And I think those are the most beautiful kind. For years, I thought my job was following you around the house, room to room, day after day. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe my job was simply to remind you what it feels like to be loved without conditions. Maybe your job was to do the same for me. If that's true, I think we both did pretty well. And if you still talk to me sometimes when nobody else is around, keep doing it. I always liked listening to you, even when you were talking about absolutely nothing. Love, your dog.